This book of card tricks is back in print. What do we do when that happens? We buy! But before we get too carried away, let's talk about whether you should buy this book or not. Are you interested in learning all of the basics of card magic in one book and some great card tricks at the same time? This book, Nick Trost's Subtle Card Creations 1, has it all. This particular volume was published in 2008 before Nick's untimely passing and is one of 9 planned volumes. It's been unavailable for a while, it was out of print, but it's recently been reprinted. The question for you is it worth getting before it goes out of print again? If you don't already know the name, Nick Trost is a Midwest legend. He was an incredibly prolific creator and writer. He was perhaps best known for his work with packet tricks. A number of them were published through L&L, Maxi Twisto, Bigfoot, Mississippi Monty, Dealer's Choice, etc. But not only did he create and put out well-known packet tricks, he also published magic. He created and wrote a column for the New Tops magazine all the way back from May 1961 to December 1994. Then in 1997, he published a book through L&L with some of his best work to date, The Card Magic of Nick Trost. As I previously alluded to, he sadly passed away in October 2008. But not before he laid out a huge collection spanning 9 volumes across a wide variety of card plots. So what kind of magic can you expect from a guy like Nick Trost? His style is casual, accessible, by that I mean easy to do, and friendly. There's a lot of variety, but it's exclusively card magic in these books. That's a lot about Nick Trost in general, but let's talk specifically about this book. This volume is the first of 9 planned books by H&R Magic Books out of Texas. 8 have been published so far, and the 9th is supposed to come out any day now. But this one is different than the other books. It's special, and I'll come back to that in a second. It is 300 pages in a very tastefully designed cloth hardbound, and it comes with a dust jacket. All of the magic within its pages are hand illustrated by the venerable Tony Dunn. H&R books are put out by Dick Hatch and Charlie Randall, and they are a very reputable company, having put out some of my favorite magic books. This particular book is broken down into a number of generalized categories like unique card effects, which is basically a series of card tricks that defy categorization. For example, a compatibility test for couples, or a suit separation effect a la Out of This World. There are coincidences wherein a participant selects cards that reveal their own phone number, another couples effect where the 2 participants find the mate to their partner's card, for example, the King of Hearts and the Queen of Hearts. There are court card capers using exclusively the court cards, gambling tricks which include Monties, blackjacks, several variations of euchre gambling, and a rummy trick or 2. There's an entire chapter dedicated to poker tricks. There are predictions, transpositions, fake card foolers, which use several types of gaffed cards like double facers, double backs, mispipped cards, etc. Special decks Part 1, packet tricks Part 1, and ESP cards Part 1. In short, there's a little bit of something for everyone, and most of these tricks could be performed differently, very much dependent on your style and character. So what's so special about this one book versus the other 7 that have already been published? The big draw to this version, and I believe one of the reasons it has sold out, is because it has a 50-page appendix of sleights. So even though the book will teach you over 100 card tricks, it will also teach you all the sleights that you'll need to be performing effective card magic. For example, it will teach you the Escanyo Spread, which allows you to display 4 cards while really hiding a 5th one. And it's far more open than the typical Elmsley/Ghost count. Speaking of the Elmsley count, that's also taught in this book. He teaches you one of the top secrets in card magic, in my opinion, the breather crimp. This deadly little secret can lie dormant in your deck for years, ready for your beckoning to perform absolute miracles. He teaches a disarming and simple false shuffle that can be used for either a packet of cards or a full deck, the Charlie A shuffle. And while many already know the Charlie A shuffle, he teaches you how to use that same shuffle to keep the entire deck in order and not just maintain the cyclical stack. Speaking of cyclical stacks, he teaches you the Cy Stebbins setup. Say that one 5 times fast. Cy Stebbins setup, Cy Stebbins setup, Cy Stebbins setup, Cy Stebbins setup, Cy Stebbins setup. Anyway, that stack will allow you to perform certain miracles that mimic a memorized stack, but without the actual memorization. For example, you'll be able to tell what the top card of the deck is merely by knowing what the bottom card is. There are many deceptive forces, several from which you can choose. Multiple false counts for packet tricks in addition to the Elmsley and Escanyo spread I mentioned earlier. There are dozens of sleights taught. These are just a few of the examples that I'm providing to help whet your appetite for what I think is a great book of card magic. If any of the sleights I just threw out are unfamiliar to you, then I definitely think you should consider picking up this book, since it will not only teach you some incredibly useful sleights for your card magic, it will also give you tricks to utilize them. If you're getting value out of this episode of Erudite Magic, hit that like button so that I'll know you're getting what you need. I believe this book will primarily appeal to beginning card magicians or intermediates who want to expand their book library. Most of the material is simple to do, but extremely effective and powerful. Don't get me wrong. I'm an experienced guy when it comes to card magic, but I still love going back to a book like this. It's written in that old school style where the descriptions are more concise, but you get all of that magic packed in without all of the fluff and filler. And you'll get inspired every time you crack the book open. And you'll probably crack it open more often because it has such a useful index of sleights in the back. Let's talk quickly about the value proposition. This book is $55 in its reprinted form. If you're a magic book collector and you're wanting to get all 9 books, me, then you'll want to be sure to get this book before it's gone. It was out of print before, and it's likely that it will go out of print again. Even if you're not a collector and you just want some easy-to-do, hard-hitting magic, this is a perfect way to test the waters and see if Nick Trost card material is for you. If you do card magic casually for friends, family, and coworkers, then this book is perfect for those situations, and I guarantee you'll find something that you'll perform. Don't forget that you can get this book for just a shade under $50 if you shop with Don this week and use the code 1 at checkout. As I've done before with some of the Nick Trost books, I'm going to share a little performance piece from this book just to give you a taste of what the magic is like. All right, Kate, thanks for helping me with this magic trick. I'm gonna teach you a little bit about poker. Are you ready to learn about some poker?
Sure.
You know a little bit about it because we've played some cards and stuff. I have an insurance policy here just in case things don't go the way I planned.
Okay.
I'm hoping they go the way I planned, but you keep an eye on that for a minute, okay? Now you know the difference between cards, right? Even though you haven't played a lot of cards, you do know the difference between them, which is good. And in a second, I'm gonna ask you to shuffle these cards, and we're going to do, basically, I'm gonna let you deal your own hand of cards, okay?
Okay.
I want you to shuffle those 2 packets of cards together. Can you do that for me?
Yep.
There you go, that's fine. That's fine. And then we're going to give them some cuts here, okay? Now deal the top 4 cards face down. Well, you could deal them face up. Go ahead. Deal them face up onto the table. 6, 7, 9. Wow. That's a pretty good start. You've got the makings here of a royal flush. But we need one more card for you to get a royal flush after you shuffled the cards and dealt them to yourself. You either need the 3 or the 8 of diamonds because you have the 4, 5, 6, and 7. No way. No way. Let's check out my insurance policy here. I've got 1 card in there. There's nothing else in there, right? Nothing else in there. 1 card to give you the royal flush. Excuse me, the straight flush. 1 card to give you the straight flush. The 8 of diamonds. How did you do that?
I don't know.
Good job, Kate. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed that performance. As always, my friends, I appreciate you watching. And until next time, keep reading.